how to not give an F about what people think about you. I don't think that anyone really knows exactly what to do here, but I do have a couple tips that I can share with you of what I've learned, because I came a long way when I started making videos back in the day. So my very first videos were like years ago, like when SEO was easy, like that far ago. And I didn't actually do any videos on YouTube. What I was actually doing is making videos for my team. So I was making videos on training my team how to do SEO. And that was a lot easier because there wasn't as much hate as there is now on the internet, because those were private videos. And that's why I still prefer to do private videos and private trainings, because the people that want to be there are there because they want to learn, they want to make money, or they want to improve their business somehow or something. Whereas on the internet, whenever you go off and decide, okay, I'm gonna go into the World Wide Web, you're basically putting yourself out there as a creator, as a video creator or a blog creator, whatever it is, and people are going to have opinions on you. So let me give you some tips. The first thing is you're going to have to get used to it and accept it. Okay, so no matter what, if you're thinking of putting out a book or a video or a blog post or something, anything, then you got to think, okay, people are going to criticize you. You're just going to have to accept it. It's just the way it is. And if you accept it, the sooner you accept it, and you're like, okay, it is going to happen. And then like you're scared of people saying stuff about you, and that fear is going to hold you back. And then when you're going to look back on your life and you're like old, and then look and say, I could have done this, but I didn't because I was scared. And that's crazy, because when you're older, you're going to look back and think, holy, I wish I just did it. I wish I just started. I wish I just gave it a shot. Okay, so if you just accept it, that, yeah, it's going to happen, and that's just the way it is what it is. So just do it anyways. Feel the fear and do it anyways. The second tip I could give you is that time is going to pass whether you do something with it or not. The time's going to go by anyway. So the years are going to go by anyway. So I've actually cried so many times because of hate comments, and I actually went dark. I even deleted some videos. I deleted some stuff, and I went dark on the internet for about 2 years where I didn't post anything. Even on my Instagram, didn't grow. I didn't do anything. It's crazy because it's like, it wasn't just the internet. For me, it was like a lot of friends of mine, and obviously I talk a lot about money, and there are a lot of people that tell me like I shouldn't talk about money at all. I shouldn't talk about crypto. I shouldn't talk about business secrets. I shouldn't say anything, because you shouldn't tell people or show people the results. You shouldn't show people how much you make. Just keep that private. But I find that it actually helps people to show them the math and show them how it works and how long it takes and how it's done. I find that personally it helps. So I started to not care what people think and go ahead and like post my trades and post how much money I'm making in my stories on Instagram and post all those things. And I stopped caring what people think. They're like, well, it's rude to share your salary. It's like, yeah, well, maybe if more people shared their salary and shared how much they make and showed how much they're actually making in their business or in their crypto trading, then it would actually help other people to see what's possible and what's achievable. I think that it would help. I wish that more people showed me exactly things like that when I was growing up, because then I would have maybe went into something else, or I would have changed my path somehow if I knew like, oh, like this job makes this much money and that job makes that much money, and I would have probably made different decisions when I was younger. So yeah, you really can't let the opinions of others decide what you're gonna do, because you're actually doing a disservice to the world. Like there are people in the world that are counting on you and what you have to offer. So the more that you're holding back and you're being all scared and hiding in your bed or whatever and not doing anything, the more time that it takes you to get started. Okay, so first of all, like when you get started, nothing's gonna be perfect. You're gonna fumble all along the way. And the faster you get started, the faster you could go through that ugly phase, I guess, where you're kind of learning, you're kind of doing stuff, you're releasing stuff that might not be perfect, and you're kind of just like getting your way through. And then like 2-3 years from then, you're going to become really good at it. And don't worry too much about what people are going to say, because people are going to say things and has nothing to do with you. Nothing. You have to realize that what they're saying is actually their own insecurities and their own shitty things that they're thinking. It's not even about you. It's about them. Because maybe you're triggering even a part of them that they don't like about themselves. Or maybe you have something about yourself that they wish they had. So they're jealous, because jealousy comes from thinking, oh, like you can't have that too. But the thing is, they can have it too. And yeah, people just don't realize they're just not in the right mindset. The only people that are going to criticize you on the internet is definitely people doing less good than you. They're not people that are doing better than you. I've never had a hater ever be doing better than I am. So it always comes from like a lower part. It's like you're the light and people are trying to, you're shining your light and people are trying to bring the light down. So that's just what's going to happen. So you just have to shine brighter, and you have to raise your vibration even higher. You have to do things that raise your vibration. And that's my next tip. So raise your vibration, because the higher that you vibrate at, the better you will feel and the less you will care about what other people say, because it's like you're shining so bright. Like maybe there's so many ways to raise your vibration, like have a bath or a hot shower or even a hot cold shower, or go sing to your favorite song and dance and do things that make you happy. Go outside and run as fast as you can. Just doing these things will change your state and raise your vibration, and that's where you want to be vibrating at. So then everybody else, just send them love and peace and like, see ya, bye. You don't need that in your life. Just don't even worry about it, because you should be comparing yourself to is yourself. Are you doing better than you're doing yesterday? Did you improve your today? There's always things that you could improve. You could improve your morning routine. You could improve how you get out of bed, what you do in the morning. You could improve your workouts. You could improve your writing, your blog posts. You could improve your videos. There's always stuff that you could do. So, pick something and improve that. So don't compare yourself to everybody else. Just compare yourself to you. You can't compare your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 20. Like, you just started here, whereas somebody else has been doing this for like 20 chapters. So, you have to just start. And even if it sucks, whatever you put out, at least you started and at least you're putting it out. And now you have something to measure it by, and you can only get better from there. My next tip is make the decision to just go ahead and do it, because for me, the moment that I decided that I was going to not care what people think and do things anyway and do things my way is the time that my life completely changed. My next tip is to surround yourself with the most positive friends, positive circle, positive environment, even if that's a Facebook group, even if that's people online, even if that's removing some people from your life or not talking to them. I know that for me, I had a lot of friends that criticized me and I had to get away from them. I had really good friends say some really nasty things to me, and I'm like, why am I hanging out with you? You're putting me down. And the way that you know if they're putting you down is to feel your energy. If you feel drained after you hang out with them, or do you feel like happy and light and encouraged and good and excited after you hang out with them? Because certain friends are going to literally take your energy and drain you, and those are the friends that you don't want to be around, especially not when you're starting a new business or a new venture of some sort. Get away from them. Because for me, every step of the way that I was with somebody negative or who was just negative around me, it didn't even have to be towards me. It could have been towards other people or other things, even like literally like yelling at things. Anything like that, it really put my energy down. So I think the more negativity you surround yourself with, the harder it's going to be to grow as a person. And even if they're not saying something about you specifically, it's still hard. So get away from negative and toxic people. Also, get away from people that make you feel guilty, because sometimes if you're starting to become a little bit successful, people might feel like they're missing out on it and they're not good enough, and they're going to start to make you feel guilty. So that also goes into that toxic category, where you just need to stay away from people that try to make you feel guilty, because it's not your job to make them happy. It's not. They need their own personal growth, because if people are handed stuff their whole lives, they don't grow as much. Like, look at certain kids. There's lots of experiments about this. Kids that have been given everything and they end up being total screw ups, whereas kids that had to work for it, work hard for it, they end up doing a lot better than, you know, the ones that are given everything. So don't feel bad. Like, there was one point in my life where I couldn't do anything. I couldn't move. I couldn't make a Snapchat video without feeling bad about it. I couldn't make an Instagram video without feeling bad about it. Oh, I can't just pull out my phone here and do my video. Like, I feel bad because I was surrounded by the wrong people that like cared about what I was doing and like constantly criticized me for it. You can't be like that. You can't be around people that constantly criticize you over the things that you do. I was constantly told that I shouldn't talk about this or that, or I shouldn't behave this way. So I constantly felt like I wasn't good enough and I shouldn't pursue that. And so that's one of the reasons why I went dark, and then I lost some years. So I don't think that you need to do that. Like, if you can, just immediately disconnect from those people. Okay, and then there's the people online who are like, well, if you're so rich, why don't you fix your face? Get a new nose. You're ugly. Like, I've heard it all. I've heard so many horrible things. And I think at first I used to be affected by it. But now I'm like, you know what? Who cares about that stuff? It doesn't even matter. I have the face that I have, and that's it. Like, too bad. Deal with it. Or don't listen. Like, that's the thing. If people come to your channel or your video or your blog post and they don't like it, these like internet warriors are gonna like write all this horrible stuff or say things, and it's like, really, do you really have nothing else to do but to write like negative things? Like, just go away, move on. Like, good luck with your life, bye. Like, it doesn't even matter what they say, because it's like, okay, I know that you're probably going through something horrible, or you're just not happy with your own life, so you're just taking it out on other people. Misery loves company. What you want to actually focus on and maybe even save are the good comments. Every time you get a good, nice comment, just like save it. Just screenshot it and save it, because it's going to make your day. And one day that you feel bad, you could look back at all the positive things, you know, like all the even Tony Robbins says, like, when you're in a good relationship, to write down the magic moments, like write down all the good times that you have in like a journal or something. Well, you could do the same thing with your comments on YouTube or on Instagram or blogs, whatever. Just save your good comments, and then you could read them later and be like, okay, yeah, this is why I'm doing this. This is like, I'm on the right path, and I know it. So that's what you want. You want to surround yourself with good and positive people and keep all of the good and positive comments. I tried to screenshot almost all of them, like, oh, I made $100 thanks to your program. Like there's one girl in my original course that I created for business owners, and I even did like a review on her website, and now she makes 130 grand a month, like $130,000 per month. And so, like, I just love that comment. Like, it's like, yes, like, what I'm doing is worth it. What I'm doing is changing people's lives, and it's helping people. And imagine the impact they're making on everyone they're helping. So it's like a massive effect. So you got to think of all the good things that come from what you're doing. There are going to be benefits from what you're doing. So you got to focus on the benefits and not so much on the negativity. My next tip is a pretty simple one. Block and delete. Bye. Like, if somebody says anything negative, I just block them, because I don't need that kind of energy on my page. I don't want it in my life. I wouldn't hang out with someone like that. So why would I ever want them? Like, I'll never hang out with you. I'll never pick up the phone and like Skype you or talk to you on FaceTime. I'll never do that, because you're a negative person, and I don't want negative people in my life. So like right there, they just lost all like any kind of chance of ever talking to me or anything. So I just block and delete them. You know what I mean? There's negative people. Block and delete. Like, wish them well. Even like, I've always wished, like, every relationship I ever had, I always like wished them well. Like, thank you for the lessons, and bye. Like, good luck. I hope you do something good with your life. See ya. Like, I always wish them well. I don't ever wish like negative upon anyone, because that could also come back to you, because it's in your field. You're thinking about it. So it's better to just wish someone well. So just like your haters and those negative people, block them, delete, wish them well, and see you later. My next tip is, know that negative people and people that think negatively about you, the good news is they could actually change, but it's not your job to change them. Some people very rarely change, or it takes them a very, very, very long time, and it's really not your job at all to change them. So just let them go. Just do not even allow them in your existence. I've even had past negative people that came back and said, hey, you actually blocked me on one of your other accounts, and I'm sorry, I thought you were a scammer, and then I listened to your things, and now I actually tried it and it worked, and so I'm sorry for what I said. See, so that's somebody that changed. It's somebody that had a very blocked mindset that then opened up and changed and like actually thought, let me give this a try. So that's cool. I do believe that people can change, because I've had a few haters that actually became fans. So I think, know that the good news is that they can change, but don't wait for it. Like, they'll come around when they come around, or they won't. So either way, you move on. Okay, I'll probably make a part 2 of this video, because I actually do have more tips, because it took me a while. But one action point that I could actually give you right now is, like, if you're scared of doing video because you're afraid of what people will think, start small. So say like Snapchat or Instagram stories, just take the phone and just do a little story, like less than a minute, and that's it. And just do that every day. And every day you're just, the muscle is going to get stronger and stronger, because you're like, I feel the fear and I do it anyway. I feel the fear and I do it anyway. And that's pretty much how you get through life. And once you get to that next level, you're like, wow, you look back and you've grown so much, and you can't believe that that's where you used to be at, but now you're somewhere better. So, and you only push through by getting uncomfortable sometimes. So the first time you start anything, people are going to criticize you. You're going to accept it, and you're going to do it anyway. So that's what I want for you. Okay, cool. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.